Hello and welcome to Vox Markets. Today I'm joined by John Mahtani, who is CEO at Media Tech SPAC. How are you today, John?
I'm very well, Zach. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. We haven't spoken for a few months. I just wanted to see how you're getting on with your plans for world domination or something like that, because you've got that in the background. But basically, the NASDAQ and sort of tech stocks, especially in the US, are at record highs. How is Media Tech SPAC going to take advantage of that? How are you placed for that kind of boom that we're in at the moment?
Well, I think one of I would say the beneficiaries of the pandemic has definitely been the technology sector, as people have had to find out better ways of working or more efficient ways of working. Technology has provided that solution in terms of remote working, in terms of providing collaborative types of software, and being able to, ensure that companies can still continue to operate with having good platforms in place. So if you look at companies like Microsoft, particularly, and other companies like Zoom, and lots of other companies that provided this type of platform have really benefited under the pandemic. And in the same way, I believe that MTS will benefit on the basis that we're looking at various businesses in various sectors that we feel will continue in this long-term trend that we believe is here to stay in many ways.
And I mean, you've been going around the city. Clearly, there's been a lot of communication in terms of the IPO, pre-IPO, etc. What's been the reaction to Media's tech SPAC?
I think the reaction has been very positive, and the prime reason for that is that we've got a really strong team. The team is, I probably said this time and time again, but I don't think you find many international executives of our caliber that come together. You look at Rick's resume, you look at Celia's resume, and you look at my resume. We're all international executives. So when we talk about wanting to take companies global, we know we can achieve that because we've done that in a previous life. And I think that has definitely come out in lots of discussions that we've had with various people.
I suppose the whole thing about tech is that it's scalable. So once you have an IP or you have a product, you can just knock yourself out all over the world, go anywhere you like.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing that really excites me more than anything else, because from our sort of manifest, what types of companies will we be looking for? We'll be looking for businesses that have got strong management teams, good innovative technology, but businesses that can allow that technology to cross border. We're not going to be looking for UK type businesses, because ultimately, the technology, it doesn't stop at a national boundary. If it's the right technology and it meets purpose, there's no reason why you can't identify unicorns and then take them global.
Right. I mean, as I said, we spoke first in March. We're now sort of in early July. What are the timelines for Media's Tech SPAC at the moment?
We're currently in engagement with the FCA to get our prospectus signed off. That should be done within the next 3 to 4 weeks. Once that's complete, we should be able to list relatively soon. So I'd say, July, August time will be a good time for our ticker MTS to be hitting the London Stock Exchange on the standard list. And we're all really excited about that. Once we conclude that, we can then look to potentially evaluate various targets that are out there with a view to a potential acquisition.
And so basically, once you're on the market, that's when the searching starts, or is it a sort of something which is an ongoing process?
Well, it's an ongoing process. We like to keep communicating with the investor base and giving them total transparency on the things that we're allowed to say. And I think that's important, is to keep, we don't want to be a company that just raises money and then disappears and comes back after 2 years. We're very much about being able to engage as a business. Far and foremost, I've always been an investor, and that's something I always look for from good companies. And the companies that have disappointed me in the past are the ones that haven't communicated on a more sort of efficient and on a regular basis. And that's something that's very important for us as a board, to ensure we continue that continued communication. And I think as a company, I think we've demonstrated that already. We've got very good feeds on the social media. We've all spoken quite regularly on the various video chats that are available to us, because we just want to give people a feel of who we are and what we're about and what we want to do.
I mean, obviously, if you're a media company, you should be good at that for yourself as well, I suppose.
Yeah, well, don't forget we've had lots of experience of that. You know, when you worked at a company like Warner Brothers, you know, which is one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world, you know, you learn a few things along the way. And
just a final question: the media sector is very fast moving. Clearly, you know, the current hot story could be, you know, yesterday's old story. How do you keep in touch with, you know, the direction of the whole sector?
Well, one of the things that we're doing with any downtime we have is we're constantly evaluating various sectors. You know, we're looking at things like fintech, we're looking at cybersecurity, we're looking at immersive technologies, we're looking at social media platforms, we're looking at production platforms. You know, and from our perspective, what we've seen very much over the last 4 months is a continual growth in all areas. So we haven't seen any area effectively starting to decline in any way. In fact, we're just seeing a continual growth in all of these areas, and we're monitoring each sector very, very closely. And that is helping us in our potential decision that longer term, these are the sort of areas that we need to look at as a potential acquisition in those sectors that are continuing to show good growth.
Well, John, good to speak to you after a few months. Hope you can catch up again in maybe the autumn and see where you are with Media Tech SPAC at that time.
Thank you, Zach. Always a pleasure to speak to you, sir. And hopefully we'll catch up soon.